like won every set until I got to winners finals, and then got upset by a local ice climbers player. Not upset. I mean, he's really good. His name's Blue Pinata. He's really good.
Yeah,
Um,
I think I saw them playing. And I think I saw them playing, but I think I might have seen them in grands.
yeah, yeah. They played against the guy I lost to in the guy who sort of I don't know, really plays a lot of characters. His name's Unruly. Plays a lot of characters very differently. I think his Marth is very different from a lot of other Marths, who I also struggle with. But and so that was sort of I don't know. I would say it wasn't my best performance, but I also like I think Falco Fox is just totally like feels. It's the only match where I'm like damn, like I kind of I don't know. Not that I don't enjoy it, but like it just feels like I never have any sort of not even control, just anything on the game. I have a set of me versus Null that I was thinking we could
Yeah, let's look at
watch
that.
watch over.
Yeah, let's look at that. Is it an SLP or is it like an
No,
actual?
it's an actual YouTube. I played him at Battle of BC.
Nice.
Uh,
How'd you do with that?
ah, not. I mean, I had fun, which is all I can do. I just thought I could have done. I wanted to do better than I actually did, but I lost to Hungrybox and Null for like 33rd, I think, 49th, something like that. I think it was 33rd.
Gotcha.
The year before, I lost to Jmook and Triff for 25th. So
Well, you're not losing to weak people, I'll tell you that.
yeah. I mean, I beat Null before at Battle of BC 4, but he just totally 100% got me here.
That happens sometimes. Like, what I mean is, I think that, like, Null, to me, sounds like the type of opponent where, like, it's just, like, you could beat him on a day, he could beat you on a day. Like, you're both very strong technical players who are, like, very aggressive from what I've seen. So it's just kind of, like, because of the dynamic of how that particular matchup happens to play out, like, it just winds up naturally being, like, a fairly explosive game. There's a lot of variance, I guess, because of just how willing to play interactions the both of you are. So.
I also think just before this, I was like, I just lost, like, I mean, again, I got 3-1 by HBox. I was like, I felt like I could have done it. Both of the games on Yoshi's Story were last stock, last hit, and I was like, I could have had that one. And it's sort of in my head, I was way more, I feel like I never really recovered, I guess, if that's the right one. I didn't recover as well as I could have. And so I just totally went to this one. All I did was play against floaties throughout the week because I had egg money into HBox. And so, I practiced with AMSA and, Chango and CPU Zero pretty much leading up to this a bit. So, it just wasn't my best performance on this one.
That's okay.
And I think just sort of a bit of explanation.
This is a lot of dash dancing without lasers.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for here?
I mean, here I should be looking for a shine at this percent, but I to be honest, I really don't know what I'm looking for.
Maybe that's something we should figure out.
Yeah.
So so would you say you do that dash dance often?
Like after I land from like it when we're both at 0? Under the platform.
Just in neutral, like this.
Yeah, I think that was a little too long. I do think I do. I also think I go in with aerials too early.
Yeah. Because because this is what I mean. Like, so let's take a look at what you're going for. So he's been slightly out of reach this entire time that you've been playing, right?
Yeah.
And you've been doing dash dances. You've been doing aerials, like from the corner. So what I would say here is, when you're going for lasers, how are you thinking about them? Like, are they like, do you feel like you have a laser mode where you're like in camping mode, or are they just like part of your neutral, or like, or the kind of a mix? Like, how do you conceptualize like using them, or what do they?
Yeah. Well, I don't think I use them well enough. How do I conceptualize using them? I think of them as like I want him to do something, but for me, again, I've been playing for so long. and I've been like, but not in like a good way.
Let's not worry
I
about.
sort of
Let's
still
not worry.
do things I did at 14 and 15.
Well, what if
And
those
so
are
I
good
think,
things?
They could be.
So let's not call them good things or bad things. Let's just say like
they're things.
Yeah, exactly.
I do things I did at 14 and 15 that
you're not sure might be you're not sure are the right play, or the or
yeah,
not.
it's just super subconscious with me. You know, when I play, I just sort of autopilot, to be honest, and so it's sort of hard for me to
answer that.
And when I don't, I feel really uncomfortable. I get, and you know, I sort of tend to autopilot in friendlies too, if I'm being honest.
So I want to, what I want to point out here is, let's look at how much distance he's keeping from you.
Mm-hmm.
So like he's created all this distance, and can you reach him with your aerial?
Nah, I can, but he has a lot more space to.
If he does anything like this, the aerial doesn't work, right?
No,
right.
I mean unless he dashes in, but he's shielding, so.
Yeah. So like let's pretend. Let's go to the frame right before he right before he shields, because I think that's really the key frame here. Because this is like where all the magic is happening. So like this one here.
Yeah.
So he's dashing away from us after he's landed from his aerial. He's landed from his empty jump. So my question here is, at this distance, if somebody was like standing or doing their dash dance here, are you able to hit them? Generally speaking. What do you think?
I think so, but I mean, like if they just stand there, yes. But if they, jump or dash away, unless I time it correctly on the jump, no.
So what do you mean if they? What do you mean time it correctly on the jump? So how do you catch them?
Well, if he waits to jump, and then I can hit him. Okay. I'm pretty sure I could be.
So, but if he waits to jump, that's not something that you're doing. That's something that he's doing.
Yeah. So I guess probably not.
Yeah. So what we're doing is we're understanding what how our decisions impact the interaction, how his decisions interact the actions, because we don't want to get those confused. Because like we want to know who's like who the burden of like execution is on, and right now it's him. This is like the reason it's him is because at this distance, Falco, if Falco doesn't fast fall his short hop aerial, he lands what, like here ish?
Actually, let me find. I drew a diagram. It's probably like.
It's close to here, right? Like maybe.
Yeah,
here.
It's close to that.
Okay, yeah, so we'll say around here. So this is what I thought. So this means the only way from this distance with Falco's like jump startup with like his airboard on 6, like 5-frame jump squat, plus his actual travel time to get from point A to point B. That means the opponent has to stay still the entire time for this jump in to work. So with this in mind. I think that this is a common thing that I'm noticing just from like looking at the first few interactions. Because to me, this is a point where lasers are really useful. Because if he's too far for us to be able to like, because the thing is, what if we flip this around? Where does Fox's approaching aerial put him? We'll have you be green actually. So yeah, you can be this. And what color will we make null? I'm thinking we make him. I don't know.
I was going to say like orange, but yeah, I think that's sort of. Wait, is that the green? I'm thinking like orange, or much the opposite of green. Purple,
We'll make him purple. I love it.
Purple.
So from Fox, let's say that he was facing this way, like let's say he wanted to attack us. His jump is a little bit smaller than ours, I think. So like instead of finishing here, he probably makes like a bit of a bump like this, right? Like kind of like this area.
I think he probably gets to like the second to last flower on that tree behind us, I think.
Like here?
Yeah, no, just where probably where you put it, right there, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. So, if that's the case, so, like, yeah, that makes sense to me. So, like, from here, assuming that he wants to attack us, this is kind of his approaching range. On our end, with our green, we have a similar dynamic, but we go a little bit further because of, like, our longer jump squat. Like, because we slide forward a bit more, we probably get to about here-ish, like somewhere in there. Because I think our short hop aerial approach goes a little bit further. So the reason I'm pointing this out is, like, neither of us can actually hit the other at this distance. You get what I'm saying, right? Like, neither of us
Yes.
are actually in range of each other, so if neither of us are in range of each other, then what does that mean about, like, how risky is it to laser?
Not super risky. I'm just thinking here that I have been up smashed in this situation if I do try and laser before.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a pretty big commitment from him. I think if I shield or just aerial in place.
Yeah, so, well, what I'm thinking here is, if we just laser in place, we could probably just get him. And then we can establish our neutral game. Because, like, again, for him to get us, he has to start here, run all the way over here and up smash us. Like, his dash, jump, cancel, up smash probably doesn't go that far. Like, it probably doesn't reach us all the way over. He probably, like, if he assuming he does it immediately, it probably hits around here. Like, so that means that he'd have to cross this extra territory, like, while basically committing to dash the entire time. That's a pretty big commitment. So what I'm trying to get you to look at it is, if the opponent doesn't have, like, if the opponent's not that close to us in general, and there's downtime, and he's committing to a dash away, because remember, he still has to turn on this frame before he can move over to us. Yeah, like, maybe that's an opportunity for us to shoot the gun, because right now, we're trying to compete with him as if we're, like, the same character as him. Like, as if we're as fast as him normally, and we're just not.
I do think I have realized that I do have that issue versus Fox, which is, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, the characters you described having problems against are all characters like this. Like, Captain Falcon will be like this, Marth will be like this, because they're all ultimately faster than you on the ground. The whole idea behind Falco is that, like, the lasers give you, like, make up for that by stunning them. So while you're moving around with, like, little spacings, while you're jumping around with lasers and such, like, at spots where they're not able to hit you, you are controlling their movements and slowing them down.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes, that does.
Perfect. So, I'm going to give this to you. So I'm going to say, like, as a general pointer, at this distance, like, if you're about this far away, laser. Because, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Because, like, we don't need to, like, if it's awkward and difficult for us to approach him because of the distance, it's probably awkward and difficult for him to approach us because we have similar range.
Yes.
And the cool thing is that, like, if he, like, you can also, like, get information about, like, you know, their willingness to attack you and stuff. Because, like, while they're getting hit by that laser, like, if they rush forward and then they get hit by the laser, well, they're now close to you. So now your downers and stuff are, like, much more positioned to, like, be able to work. Because they advanced and then got stunned, and now they're close to you in stun. If they run away from you, then you now know advancing laser works. Or, like, you can advancing laser because they've created a bigger pocket of space. So you're able to, like, move forward and take stage while also pressuring them.
This is in the situation that you screenshotted, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And if they full hop, then you just don't, you know not to bite because they've, like, committed to a jump trajectory, and they're now above you, and you just, you know, like, okay, shoot high laser, like, deal with the landing. Like, you no longer have to worry about, like, things that are happening in the same degree. Because you don't have to, like, worry about predicting what's happening, basically. Because you've created a situation where the things that are happening are all being, like, controlled or checked for in some way by the hitbox you've put out, by the laser. So because of that, you have information coming in before you make your decision.
Yes, that makes a lot of sense. I feel like for me, most of my game plan, like, I have a big problem with turning my strengths into weaknesses. Like, for example, like when Fox up throw up airs me onto the platform and I roll away and then they hit me with an up air, drifted poorly, and then I slide off shine them. I did that for a while, and then eventually the local Fox players all figured out the other thing, but I still do the roll away. It's just sort of a problem, and I tend to, like, not actually think about it in that way, and I think you putting the sort of the laser diagram really helped me just think about it more.
Yeah, like, are you more of a visual learner?
Yes, I would say so.
Then you're like 90%.
But I also learn by doing things too.
Okay, perfect. So you're like every Melee player I've ever coached then. So,
Yeah.
with like two
Thank
exceptions. So like, no. But that's why I make the diagrams, because they like help, because people do say they help. So, yeah. So let's talk about this combo actually. I like that. I liked how you kind of like structured it. So first of all, I'm very happy to see you shooting lasers. I don't know much about this matchup. How valuable is center stage to Falco here? Like, does he want to be pressuring Fox?
No, I think I think I should be in center stage. It's not like Martha. It's not like I get him in the corner. Again, I don't know as much about this matchup either. I think. Center stage is important. He has less options to get into the corner.
Okay. So I see something here. Let's talk edge guarding. So, what if I told you could have hit everything?
That sounds great.
I love that answer. Okay, so let's talk about edge guarding this up B. So, I will talk to me about the decision to do this like shine stall down air. Like why?
Yes.
What's the plan here?
He's below, and then down air. It's like a big move.
Yeah. No, I love it.
That's.
No, that's good.
I
good
also
enough.
have a problem. Okay.
Good enough.
Yeah.
Like, again, I'm not... So, the thing about me is I'm not usually looking for complicated or correct. I'm looking for what your understanding is. That's it. So, I'm not here to judge you. You are paying me good money to, like, help you. So, I'm here
You're not here to judge me?
Nope.
Thank God.
So, let's talk angles. So, would you say this is, like, the kind of, like, the tightest or, like, most, this is the most sideways angle that Fox can use to get onto the stage, right? Because Battlefield's weird edge thing?
I would probably say that's probably the tightest one for him to hit, right? Maybe if he goes a little further back, like if you go further to the right with the ruler, and I think that would be sort of probably a really good one.
Well, he's starting from here, right? So like
yeah. He did. His little head is there.
Yeah. So like I'm thinking like this is about it. So fair enough. So then like his other options to get onto the stage are what? Like around here, like maybe here.
Around there. Yeah. Maybe he drifts like. Goes above the stage, drifts back.
Oh, true. Yeah, that's a good call. So let's say maybe about here.
Yeah.
This looks about right to me. Maybe even a bit higher, like that.
Yes, that looks good. Okay,
cool. So, here's what we're doing here. Because there is a method to this madness. So, with our Falco here, with the lovely and talented Falco.
He's great.
He is great.
I love him.
So, here's the problem I have with your edge guard. Or like rather the issue, here's like the structural issue I see here. We're creating a gap. We're creating too much of a gap for like him to like travel under. You see what I mean? Like,
yes.
So what we want to do here, ideally, in my opinion, is minimize the amount of gap because we don't want there to be like we want to almost like be blocking off this edge part of the recovery, this path, super hard. Like this is our number one priority. Even if it means he might go over us. Why do you think I feel that way?
Because the edge is probably the most important place when you're edge guarding, right?
It is. I mean, it is, but it's not. That's kind of circular logic, right? Because it's like it's important because it's important. But like,
yeah.
So let me walk you through the reasoning here. What happens if we cover this angle super hard and he has to go above us? Like let's say our down air goes we do our down air like perfectly, like we drop here, double jump, we have our active frame from like here to like maybe like not quite that high, maybe down to like here, like we fast fall it even, and then we have like coverage from here to here. Does that make sense? Like basically we're putting our hitbox out so that we make sure that this section is covered super hard, and then we drift on stage.
We drift on stage. Well, he would have to go straight up.
Yeah, so what happens then?
If I have it right, we can run off down air or down smash.
Yeah. So, like, let's map this out so that we're super crystal clear on this. So we're starting here. He's over here. So this is our one. This is his one. This is his one. So, on his two, he can either go here into the box of death, or he can head up here. So what we're doing is like, on R2... we're going from here to here, and we're finishing with R2 over here. Because, like, again, his travel time takes a while. So we're, like, finishing here. Either he dies if he goes to any of these angles, or he goes above us. by going above the down air hitbox, in which case he finishes up here with his 3 and has to like somehow fall to the edge. Well, we're on stage now. So since we finish here, we just have to hit him as he's falling to the stage. So we are covering everything. We're covering all of these because we have to, and then he misses us. In the case that he goes over, like that he doesn't want to interact with this, he actually winds up missing us completely. See what I mean?
Yes.
So this is what I mean by like that shine. I know that it's like an innovation that I forget who came up with it, but like I forget who
Might have been Ginger. I feel like I saw him do it a lot in 2018, which is sort of when all of these mental habits came in of doing things.
Gotcha. You know what? I admire Ginger's work. I think he's a genius. This is one of the few ideas of his that I'm not really a fan of, because I think that for me this just dilutes the edge guard too much, because really this shouldn't be about us trying to cover everything with one down air. This should be about us covering everything here and then accepting that there will be things up here so that we never lose coverage.
Sorry. So do I still shine stall here or no?
Nope.
Okay, so I just drop down, hit him with, basically say this area is closed,
and then he has
to
to go
by.
over
You got to go. Yeah, got to go up this way. Okay, yeah.
Because what is the shine stall adding?
It's not adding anything. I don't know if this is it's just another way of me saying it's a bad option. A thing I do a lot is I do these options that are sort of, they cover either like cover everything, or they don't really cover it. They just cover one thing, and then they do something else and I just get punished for it.
Yeah, so here's another one. So at this moment, what do you think, like, how he just DI'd this way on Falco's Shine. Yeah. So this is a 50-50, because you can do weak area, like you can do fair into dare, or you can do dare if he holds off. So my question here is, what do you think makes sense here?
This is without me knowing the outcome. I would say fair, edge cancel dare.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could do the rising bear, sort of the rising inside hit of the leg, back air, because he is DIing in.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably do that, because even if he DIs up, he's still off stage. I think nair or fair, actually. Nair or fair, because if he DIs away, it's still at a great angle for me to edge guard him. I think if I do the rising back air, he's actually at a better angle for him on the recovery. So I think probably fair, or maybe fair dare, or like fair dare edge canceled. Sorry, fair nair edge canceled, or just down air.
I love that. The only other thing I'd add is, if we're gonna go for the dare, one consideration I'd make, this platform here, right?
Yes.
So what if we like did something like this? So we started over here. What if we like went over it, wave landed off it, and then did the dare like this?
Oh.
Because like that way, even if he holds in, then we're still like falling with him immediately, and we can still follow up on him. So no matter so we either get the kill, or if he DIs perfectly, like smash DIs in, we're like right next to him on landing.
That sounds good. I said something to say. No, I don't. Never mind. Yeah, no, that sounds good.
Yeah, so like what we're trying to do here is like we always want to think about like so with punishment, one of the tricks is to not like trap yourself in thinking that you only have the options that you can immediately think of. Like we want to use the stage features and things to our advantage, because the problem here with this play is not that you went for it. The down air is fine. The problem is that the way in which you went for it meant that if this doesn't work, you're up here, and then he gets back to neutral. That's how that's what happens here. Imagine if you had just like done this and landed here at the same time that he enters knockdown, right? That's like such an easy follow-up. And if he misses the tech, he's dead. If he because you just up tilt down air him. If he rolls inward, then you can just keep chasing him.
Or down smash, I think.
Yeah, like the world is your oyster, but like the thing here is like the problem here is, so when you're looking at combos, one of the biggest things I'd recommend is look at the structural problems. Don't look at like because the down air here is fine, and I want to be clear about that. But you see what I mean about like how we're just too high.
Yeah, I need to position myself better.
Bingo.
For that when yeah.
So what we did. So what we did, and I would need to get a draw pad for. I keep saying I will, and I don't, and it's so
no.
bad.
Your drawings are really good. I can't draw with my mouse, so
Yeah,
you're
and the
probably
problem
Picasso with it.
Picasso was really good.
Yeah. So I mean, you're an artist on paint or snipping tool. I apologize.
Stop apologizing. I know we're Canadians and that's customary, but
Okay, I don't apologize.
Good. That's what I asked for. But what we did, and then it's just like distance doesn't allow additional. Distance doesn't allow follow up. Like doesn't allow follow up in fail condition. No, if allow. We'll just do shorthand follow up in 50-50 hold in. Because, yeah, like, that's really, like, the issue here. It's not that, like, it's not that the down air choice is bad. I think the down air choice was quite good.
Will the text be cut off?
Huh?
Will it...
Well,
oh, no, it wasn't cut off. Okay, sorry.
No, snipping tool's great. Snipping tool's great.
Okay.
So, with that in mind, I think that the biggest... Yeah, like, it's... To me, what we need to do is we need to focus a little bit more about distance and like what we can do at those distance and what those distances mean in neutral, specifically so that we can get more lasers going and control our opponents better. And then for punishment, the thing I'm seeing is we need to understand kind of like where our ending position, like what coverage we have on edge guards and with our combo finisher choices, and what that means about where the opponent finishes up and where we want to be based on that. Because like using the example of that like down air edge guard, that down air combo finish, it's totally reasonable and possible that he stays on stage from that down air because of his DI. Like that is a thing that can just happen, and we both know that. So if he can stay on the stage with his DI, Falco does not want to be like off stage above Fox when that finishes. Like it's
just a bad gamble or situation I put myself in.
Yeah, like the movement like attack right movement needed to be workshopped a bit.
Yeah.
A good way to practice that, try to like keep yourself close, like try to land immediately after you do your finisher where possible. Like that would be like a big thing. Like try to land.
Okay. So can you say that one more time just so I can rememberize it?
Yeah, so like let's wait for another combo to come up and I'll tell you what I mean. So let's see here. Yeah, okay, you're going to shine him in a second. So this is good.
I need to CC walk.
So, you see how you're landing right after that you hit that nair? And then you're able to like get into like an edge guard position? Like, you don't get it, but like you're able to get into position and you're safe.
Yeah.
The reason for that is because you placed emphasis on landing after you hit your, like landing efficiently after you hit your finisher. So what I'm saying is just make that a standard practice. Where possible, try to like land, like if you had falling down aired him, even like instant double jump, like falling down air, that also would have been fine here, like in that previous one. The problem was you did it while rising when you had the option to do it while falling.
Okay, yeah.
Because, yeah, like, once you get back on the ground, you're able to, like, do all your stuff again. And this is just a rule of thumb. Like, it's not going to be perfect. There will be situations where you have to do both. But, like, look at that down air that you just did, too, right? Even though he had good, like, defense on it and jumped into it, you're still safe because because you landed immediately after hitting. Mm-hmm. That's what we're trying to go for in general.
Yeah.
So I will make that a note here. So let me just say, let's start the key takeaways. And how are you finding this session? Like, is this okay?
I think this is really helpful for me. I think, no, it's really helpful. Really helpful.
Okay. Prioritize landing efficiently after hitting combo finisher in the air. Bracket, especially on DI 50-50s involving 50-50s involving dare. Because yeah, like that's the DI, like the thing about dare is that like dare is especially important with down air if the opponent can finish on the ground. Mm-hmm. Because yeah, like then you can kind of get caught with your pants down kind of, and nobody wants that.
Yeah, I think, I mean, this is me being, I don't know, a little rude to myself, but I do think I sort of have a lot of these habits through which I just sort of do lazy options. And I think I've never really gotten too good at like actually thinking about what my opponent's going to do consistently in terms of like I'm, off stage, especially, but just in neutral. And so I think it's just a big struggle for me.
So I want to actually point something out here. This is actually very close to like the thing that I'm like suggesting we do. I would have done the down air slightly later, and done the double jump slightly tighter, but like this is actually very close, and you can see that we almost are able to get like to pressure him or hit him for this tech stand. This is exactly what I was suggesting. We were just slightly off. So to me, this is not a matter of like you're lazy or something. I just don't think you know these things. And if you don't know them, then how are you expected to work on them?
No, that's true.
Yeah. So rather than saying we're lazy, maybe we just haven't found a solution to the problem that works yet. Because the one thing that I'm noticing about you is that the things you are doing look fairly clean and well executed. Like, and you mentioned you take a lot of pride in your tech skill, right?
Sort of, yeah. Yeah, I'd say I take some pride in it.
Right, and that only comes with hard work and dedication and discipline and upkeep, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think it's an unwillingness to do work. I think it's you just don't know what work you're supposed to do at this phase.
Yeah, for sure. I think for a while I was sort of like, my tech skill's fine, I don't need to practice it. And I think now I'm just sort of like, no, I think I just like to do some upkeep with it.
Yeah, but I don't evaluate you now on who you were like, when you're when you're dealing with a mic and like you also have like, you're kind of reevaluating your relationship with the game and maybe it's your first time being good. Like everyone makes mistakes when those conditions are happening. So I don't think it's fair to judge you off that.
Thank you.
No problem. I know we're a little over time, but like I literally don't care. Let's like at least finish this set.
Okay, cool.
This is why I charge the big bucks, so I don't have to count minutes.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is what I do. If it wasn't clear, I would love to have you back.
No, I'd love to do this again, because I really need some assistance.
I'm starting a Discord server, by the way, as well, for like learners, so I'll make sure to invite you to it, because I think that we didn't get to some of these concepts, but like some of the structural concepts, but let's spend a bit of time after this set so going over this, maybe like 5-ish minutes, because I think that like it's a good starting point for understanding the game the way I do, and the way like a lot of people, well, not a lot, but like us boomers do.
The old heads.
Yeah, and like it's and it's
the
something
golden generation. Yeah.
I'm not sure I'd call us that, but like those of us who need like mobility assistance.
Yeah. Those with their knees hurt.
Yeah. Oh my God, my knees hurt.
Help!
But never
I've
become 30.
and I need help getting up. Yeah.
I honestly that's like literally me.
Man.
So here's the thing that I'm noticing. You laser a lot, like you laser a lot, I think, for when you're in combat or when like you can kind of confirm that nothing is going on, but like it's not really a habit that's worked into just like things happening normally. So here's going to be my challenge.
I love challenges.
If you notice that your last two short hop, if you notice that the opponent feels, and all it has to be is that it feels like they're slightly too far to hit a lot.
With an aerial, right? With like an aerial or.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, what else would you hit them with? Like, you could, like, if they're too far
running
to hit...
forward smash.
Yeah, but if they're too far to hit with an aerial, they're probably too far for that.
That's true.
See, like, this is the thing about characters. A lot of them kind of work with, like, a fairly set range in terms of their access to immediate tools. So, like, if we think about, like, Fox, for example, you know how we, like, identified that, like... Let's take Fox, actually. So you know how we identified... where's the moment where he's in fighting stance? No, play neutral, damn it. Alright, whatever.
Stop punishing me all the time. Damn, can we just reset to neutral? Please.
Here we go. Okay, cool. Yeah. So you see here how with when he gets hit by this, let's pretend he's not hit by this. If he's too far to hit you with short hop aerial here, he's also too far to really run over and running shine you, and he's also simultaneously too far to really running up, like dash jump cancel up smash, dash jump cancel grab. He can't really, like, the only, like, you see what I mean? There's kind of like a certain amount of range a character has in terms of their immediate threat axis, and it tends to be like fairly standard across their options. There are some characters like Falcon where like it's kind of like there's a lot of variability because of their dash jump momentum, and this also comes up with low traction characters like Ice Climbers and Luigi because of their like they have kind of like an immediate range and then they have like this incredible burst of like speed, but like there's some delay and then they hit you. But like with Fox, characters with Fox, like air fighters in general and dash dancers, it's kind of like they have their aerial zone, they have like however much their dash takes them to, which is about here, like here and here. And that's really it. Like, they don't really have much more in terms of immediate threats that you have to really be worried about coming out of, like, in your position. So what I would say is, how would we define this distance? Because we want to make it universal, like, kind of like good enough to be used in different matchups, but we also don't want it to be like... we also don't want us to be like get hit unnecessarily for no reason, because then we're just like not going to give you confidence in the model. So what do you think would work here? Like what would be a good indicator for you that it is time to laser?
Oh man, I am not sure. I don't know.
What do you look for when you're playing? Like what do you watch? Like when you're watching the opponent? So what signals are they? Like what do you look at?
I mean, on a good day when I'm thinking great, usually what they're doing after they land sometimes. I'm mostly just looking at like how long is he waiting for me to do something, because I think a lot of people sort of at my level are whiff punishers.
Sure, and and do you keep your character on the screen at all? Because like the way I look at it is like he's my center of focus, and like this is in my peripheral, so it's kind of like I have a field of vision like this, kind of.
Yeah, it's super subconscious with me. I just sort of do it, and I don't know. It's hard for me to articulate it.
Okay. Well, are you aware of your character on the screen when you're fighting?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
And are you aware of the distance between you, yourself and him?
I think so.
Okay.
I hope so.
I would hope so too. Like, because it looks like you are usually. So with that in mind, when he's waiting, is he usually doing it at a certain distance?
Oh man.
I know I'm asking hard questions, but
yeah,
do your
these
best.
are tough questions. These are the tough ones.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is this just we're talking about Null or Fox or
just Fox?
Just Fox. I would say most of them are right outside of my aerial range, like just so. I mean, and so, but I feel like they're just close enough to where they can somehow run up smash me. That's probably because of something I'm doing after. I would say right outside of my aerial range.
Cool.
Is that?
Yeah, that's perfect. So I love that. So your aerial range is probably about like here, like from here to here.
Probably.
Yeah. So I mean, like it doesn't have to be perfect. Like this is just a diagram. Like I'm gonna rely on your experience to like kind of like make any corrections that are needed to make this work. But what I want to say is, if the opponent is outside your aerial range and they're not coming forward, and you can and you've kind of confirmed they're not coming forward, or you notice they're not coming forward, set up a laser.
Okay.
So one.
And then, yeah. No, sorry. You continue.
Yeah. So step one is confirm distance between you. Confirm distance. 2, if outside aerial range, outside short hop aerial, then 3, if outside short hop aerial, 3, confirm, approaching or not.
Sorry, that's what I'm confirming. I'm confirming if they're approaching or not?
Check if approaching or not.
Okay.
And then if no, laser. That's it.
That's it.
That's all I want you. That's the biggest thing that I want to see you doing by next time.
That's my challenge by next time. Okay.
And
Cool.
then the other one is we're going to prioritize landing efficiently after hitting a combo finisher in the air, especially if it involves a down air where the opponent can feasibly land on the floor. So
yeah.
So basically, it's like try to get to the peak of your jump before down airing, and then fast fall immediately.
Okay, so when I'm at the height, then I down air, and then I fast fall. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So laser more, bracket, refer to diagram. Refer to diagram below. And then the last thing is, let's just quickly, I'm going to stop recording because this is like an answer to one of my questions. But let's talk about